Hello everybody and welcome back to the next newspaper analysis and our daily Roznama. Now everybody must be aware that we got this wonderful news yesterday night that the tariffs on India have been finally reduced. Alright. So just a little timeline of it. Last year in 2025, Donald Trump was elected as the 47th president of United States of America. And when he was elected as the, not percentage, 47th president of the United States of America. And when he came to power, he brought his vision of making America great again. All right. Now, the purpose of making America great again and the entire highlight of the vision simply entails that, he wanted to increase the income generation within the country rather than, sending out remittances to other countries. To do so, one of the things that he undertook was implementing reciprocal tariffs. Now, what are reciprocal tariffs? Reciprocal tariffs, he simply implied under reciprocal tariffs that as and how much any particular country is taking import duties on US goods, the same percentage of tariffs, the same percentage of import duty will be imposed on that respective country when they are importing their goods into USA. All right. So under his reciprocal tariff ideation, he had implemented a reciprocal tariff of 25% on India. Then just a few months back, we were again hit with an additional 25% tariffs, citing the reason that India is buying Russian oil and thereby India is also financing the Russia-Ukraine war. And then just a few days back, he also made this wonderful announcement saying that the countries who are undertaking any sort of trade with Iran will also be slapped with another additional 25% of tariff. Although we were not, inclining or we weren't undertaking any massive trade with Iran, but still a meager percentage of 0.15 was our entire trade with Iran. All right. But then India was also undertaking the construction of a port in Iran, which is known as the Chabahar port. All right. Now, day before yesterday, we got the budget. And in the budget, there was no new sum of money aligned to the construction of Chabahar port in Iran. All right. So India did not assign any new fund for the construction of the Chabahar port in Iran. All right. In this backdrop, one thing that we did not, undertake any direct initiative with Iran. The second thing being that US undertook slapping of tariffs on European Union as well, because the people of European Union and around 8 countries of European Union had actually opposed the entire idea of Trump taking over Greenland. Okay. So Trump threatened to impose tariffs on European Union as well. And in this backdrop, he actually pushed European Union into signing the mother of all deals with India. All right. Now, this simply, brought in a picture that maybe the countries no longer care for what USA is actually doing with his tariffs and reciprocal tariffs and import duties, etc. They started, undertaking trade deals amongst themselves. Even Canada, for that matter, during the Davos summit, he did make a point saying that Canada is no longer, afraid, etc., of all the tariff threats of USA. And Canada even called on to middle powers to unite together and, unite in the face of all such impositions that USA is actually undertaking. So given such build-up, this was actually something that was anticipated, that now USA actually feels that USA can't keep on straining relations with the world for the betterment of USA and for that entire idea of making America great again. Okay. So yesterday we did have a trade deal with USA. How did this trade deal come about is that our external affairs minister had gone to US for the critical mineral mission, for the critical minerals meet, and it was there that he negotiated with the leaders of the United States of America, which resulted in the entire culmination of the trade deal. All right, so now the 25% additional tariffs that were threatened because we were buying Russian oil was removed, and also the reciprocal tariff of 25%, which was imposed on India, was or has also been reduced to 18%. All right, so we did have a large number of articles in the newspaper today which talked about the tariffs and the like. Okay, so we have articles in the Hindu, the Indian Express. So make sure that you go through these articles, get a basic idea as to which goods are benefiting from this, and which goods still have certain percentage of import-export duties. All right, so all of these articles do give us a wonderful insight as to the 18% tariff deals. All right, okay. And also there was an announcement by Donald Trump. He did take to his Twitter handle, that he always does, his X handle, and there he did make this announcement saying that India has agreed to stop buying oil from Russia and is going to start buying oil from Venezuela. All right, now this is something that he has announced. We've not got any such confirmations from our government. All right, so we'll still keep an eye as to what India has to say about it, but this is a statement that has been issued only by the President of United States of America. Okay, all right, this basically tells you that how did the entire trade deal come about. So you can go through the entire articles that are present in the newspaper today covering this. Okay, now coming to the second important article for today, it is the Periyar River dispute. Okay, now Periyar River dispute is a dispute between the two states of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. So you need to remember Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. The second thing that you have to keep in mind with respect to this is that it is a river, and there is dispute between sharing of waters. For example, like we have the Indus Water Treaty, which talks about, provides us a sharing water ratio between India and Pakistan. Within the country also, states have several agreements, and also they have several disputes with respect to water sharing mechanism. All right, so what you have to keep in mind, that the Supreme Court has directed that the center or the parliament should form a tribunal to overcome this particular dispute. All right, there is an there is a statutory law for it, the Interstate River Water Disputes Act of 1956, which guides the entire process of removing the or solving the dispute. Also, Article 262 of the Constitution provides that the Parliament will undertake steps to bring about resolution of interstate water disputes in the country. Okay, so what you have to keep in mind, Peniyar River dispute is between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. The Supreme Court has directed the center to set up a tribunal to resolve this. The center, the parliament under Article 262 has been empowered to do so, and also the parliament has formed a statutory law, the Interstate River Water Disputes Act of 1956, to do the same. All right, this is what you must keep in mind. Then coming to the next article, why did I take this up? Because I just wanted to flag the entire Ladakh issue with you all. So in 2019, the central government undertook abrogation of Article 370. Article 370 was the article which gave special status to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, that Jammu and Kashmir had significant autonomy to undertake programs, policies, etc. with respect to the internal matters. Only defense, communications, and international relations were given to the central government in Delhi. And this was given and agreed to under the Instrument of Accession that was signed in 1948. All right. Okay. So Article 370 was abrogated in 2019. after which the central government bifurcated the state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories. One is the state of Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, and the other is the Union Territory of Ladakh. Now, when this abrogation did take place in 2019, the people of Ladakh, who were led by the climate activist Sonam Wangchuk. Sonam Wangchuk is the same person who has actually inspired the movie Three Idiots as well. So it was under his leadership that the people of Ladakh were very welcoming to the abrogation of Article 370 as well as bifurcation of the state into two union territories, Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir, because the people of Ladakh felt that they were neglected under the administration of Jammu and Kashmir, and no concerted development programs were undertaken in Ladakh. All right. So initially they were happy, and they had put in front of the central government certain demands that they wanted to be fulfilled during the following course of time. All right. So the demands were like that they wanted eventual statehood for Ladakh with inclusion in the 6th schedule. They also called for 2 separate parliamentary seats in the Lok Sabha for the Union Territory of Ladakh, and along with that, they wanted a separate State Public Service Commission for Ladakh. All right. So, State Public Service Commission was concerted to, and also the demand for getting 2 parliamentary seats in the Lok Sabha was also given into by the central government. What was not done till now, has not been done, was that statehood has not been given to the Union Territory of Ladakh, and also no inclusion into the 6th schedule. All right. Now there are 2 schedules of the Constitution, Schedule 5 and Schedule 6. Schedule 5 talks about administration of scheduled areas in various states in the country other than Assam, Manipur, Mizoram and Tripura. Okay. And Schedule 6 specifically talks about the administration of the scheduled areas of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura. All right. Now, Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura, these 4 states which are separately mentioned in Article 6 actually have certain special powers, in the sense that the tribal communities in these regions are given more recognition, and they have been permitted to establish autonomous district councils. And these autonomous district councils have the power that they can formulate policies, programs, etc. as per their own tribal customs, traditions in that respective state, outside the influence of the state government as well as the central government, although they work under the ambit of the governor of the state, and above the governor, the president of the country. So significantly, they have more autonomy with respect to their own governance. That is why Ladakh under Sonam Wangchuk has asked for statehood, and not regular statehood under Schedule 6 of the Constitution. All right. So naturally, this demand was not met. So last year in August, there were protests in Schedule 6. There were protests in Ladakh, and that has till now it has been the protests have subsided, and the government had arrested Sonam Wangchuk. And the center right now, after investigation, has also said that that entire violent protest that resulted in the death of so many people there was a result because of the seditious speeches that Sonam Wangchuk had given there, agitating the people of Ladakh, and they compared the violence to that of Nepal recently, the Gen Z protest, and also that of Bangladesh, which resulted in the ousting of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. All right, and also said that he incited violence by citing these examples as well as that of Arab Spring. Arab Spring was a series of protests that took place in the Arabian countries starting from 2011, where the people had taken to the streets against the oppressive, tyrannical rules of their specific leaders. Okay. All right. Coming to the next one, in yesterday's session, I did take up that the government has proposed to set up 3 All India Institutes of Ayurvedas. All right. So these are just to promote Ayush education in the country. So the Ayush Ministry has now invited proposals by various partners who may be interested, private sectors who may be interested in investing in the setting up of All India Institutes of Ayurveda. All right. And also Just again to flag the full form of Ayush. Ayush stands for traditional medicines and is an abbreviation used for various forms of traditional medicines like Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, Sova, Rigpa, and H stands for homeopathy. All right. So do keep that in mind. Then coming to the next one, I just wanted to flag for you all that PSLV C62 was the latest launch of ISRO, through which ISRO was trying to put in space 16 satellites, and all this particular mission was a failure. We couldn't successfully complete this mission. So naturally, a probe has been undertaken in this to see that what are the basic glitches through which the missions are failing, and then the next mission they've tried to schedule it in June. Okay, then coming to the next piece of news is that right now there are major protests that are ongoing in Baluchistan, and this protest is not new. It has been in too much in news since 2024, but then this entire conflict dates much back around the time of independence. Now, what the problem is that Baluchistan is inclusive of a tribe known as the Baluch tribes, and these Baloch people, they have different, a little bit of different culture, tradition, etc. than the proper people of Pakistan. And also the Baluchistan region is a resource-rich region. Initially, when Pakistan was given independence, it was made sure, or it was included in the constitution back then, that Baluchistan will be given significant autonomy. But naturally, that was not done. The army of Pakistan has taken significant control of Baluchistan. The people of Baluchistan, to upkeep and to protect their culture, tradition, and their entire identity, they are now fighting for independence from Pakistan. To do so, they have also established the Baluch Liberation Army, and the Baloch people, militants, have been protesting against Pakistan. All right. Pakistan continuously keeps on citing that Afghanistan and India, they have been, adding fuel to fire, in the sense that they have been aggravating the people of Baluchistan against Pakistan. Also, Baluchistan undertook launching of an operation which is known as Operation Herof or Operation Black Storm. It is mentioned in today's editorial. So, Operation Herof or Operation Black Storm has been launched by Baluchistan Liberation Army against the oppressive militants of Pakistan. Okay, oppressive military of Pakistan. So just wanted to flag the entire issue. So do go through it. Keep in mind Baluchistan Liberation Army, what the issue actually is about. Operation Herof, which has now entered Operation Herof 2.0. All right, Operation Herof was launched in 2024 initially. This article gives you an insight on that. Now the next one, caste census. Now you will continuously have updates on the caste census. The Supreme Court has cited certain concerns regarding the self-declaration part of the caste census. Self-declaration here simply implies that the government has left it on the people to declare their castes themselves, and then naturally they will undertake investigations and verifications. But as of now, Supreme Court has said that maybe a self-declaration can cause in collection of unverifiable and incorrect data. All right, it may miss the genuineness of any particular caste who is actually suffering. Okay. Also, a five-tier training model for census house listing has been proposed. 5-tier in the sense that they have created 5 levels of it. All right. So it has been very clearly mentioned in the article. Please go through it, that they will be doing through mobile apps for real-time data capture, then self-enumeration portals, census management monitoring system, which is a digital leapfrog from the paper schedules and manual tallies. All right. So these are the various modes through which they will be undertaking the entire caste census this time. Please do go through the article. Then coming to the next one, the 16th Finance Commission, which was established in 2023, submitted its report in 2025 for the financial year from 2026 to 2031. The present chair of the 16th Finance Commission is Arvind Panagria. First chairperson of the Finance Commission till date has been KC Nyogi. And also, Finance Commission is a constitutional body which is established under Article 280. All right. So, Finance Commission has just flagged an issue for the central government, saying that all the freebies that the governments they promise in terms of cash transfers, and they do undertake cash transfers, it must have exit clauses as well, in the sense that such schemes should have an end clause, because then naturally giving so much of direct cash transfers can result or can become economically overbearing on the government. All right, so do go through this one. Then a good explained article in today's editorial on the Arab Delhi Declaration. All right, so just a few days back, the government concluded its meeting with the Arab League of Arab States. All right, so some 22 members participated in it. And the League of Arab States was actually established in 1945 by the then 7 founding members like Lebanon, Iraq, Egypt, etc. And right now it has 22 members as its total members, and India recently undertook conclusion of a dialogue, a summit with these leaders, with this organization, which resulted in the Delhi Declaration. So naturally, the article gives you insights of the various upheavals, many conflicts that are undertaking right now in the Arab region, in Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Palestine, an entire issue with Iran. So all of this has been very wonderfully outlined in this particular article in the Middle East, and how India has, very beautifully navigated through all of it and has culminated into the Delhi Declaration with the Arab regions after 2002 for the first time. So this is the second time, and also this shows that India is going to work on around 5 sectors here, as concluded with India's meet with the king of UAE, who had recently come to India. So they do talk about 5 basic sectors like energy, security, etc., over which they are going to still continue and work in the Arab region. Okay, so good article, do go through it. Okay, then yesterday Dalai Lama made history. That Dalai Lama won his first Grammy. It's so many people actually strive to do so, but who did it? A 90-year-old 14th Dalai Lama of Tibetan Buddhist religion. Okay, all right. So what you have to keep in mind, that Dalai Lama won this, and why did he win it? It was because of his entire audio books on meditation and effective way of living under the Buddhist religion. All right. So Dalai Lama becomes important. Also, Dalai Lama came to India in 1959 when the Chinese army took over Tibet, and he sought asylum in India. Presently, he is living in Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh. Around 15 years back in 2011, he gave up his political position, and right now is only positioning himself as the spiritual leader of Tibetan Buddhists and the entire Tibetan cause. All right, so he is won his first Grammy. Also, this gives you the various other winners of it, so do go through it. Grammys are always only for music, audiobooks. So Record of the Year was given to Luther by Kendrick Lamar. Best Rap Album, GNX, Kendrick Lamar. Album of the Year, Debbie Terrar, Mass Photos by Bad Bunny. Song of the Year, Wildflower by Billie Eilish. So do keep in mind the various winners this year. All right, quickly coming to the editorials for today. Okay, the first one is on the Finance Commission, where the Finance Commission has, yesterday Finance Commission had basically given that entire outline for devolution of funds from the center to the states. What is devolution? Devolution of money. Because India is a quasi-federal country, where powers are divided between the central government and the state governments, where the central government is more powerful. So it is an onus of the central government that the central government must financially support the state governments as well. All right. So how is the central government going to do this? Every year in the budget, the central government aligns or gives certain money from the central exchequer to each and every state in the country. All right. So the article basically says that as per the 15th Finance Commission report, the total percentage of money that had to be devolved from the central government to the states was kept at 41%, and the same has been retained by the 16th Finance Commission as well. Both the 15th and the 16th Finance Commission had 6 criteria outlined on the basis of which they are to devolve this money. All right. So if you look at the 6 criteria as per the 16th Finance Commission, the criteria include population, demographic performance, area, forest, per capita, gross state domestic product, and contribution to GDP by each and every state. So on these 6 factors, money from the central government to the state government has been retained at 41%. And also this year, the southern states did see a hike in the total devolved amount as compared to the northern states. All right. So do go through this editorial. Then again, an article on Balochistan violence. Just keep in mind the Operation Herof and Black Storm, the entire issue that is taking place in Balochistan right now. Baloch people who are dying at the expense of the Pakistan military. So this gives you an insight as to what is the basic issue in Balochistan. So one article that you must see. Okay, then a very wonderful take by Yogendra Yadav on the UCG regulations. So this article actually gives you a very good insight as to what was the need for these new proposed UCG equity guidelines. So he said that he was a part of the previous guidelines in 2012, where they had actually undertaken an entire drafting of rules saying that university campuses should be without discrimination. And then recently, there were 2 instances of 2 students who actually committed suicide, gave up their lives because of discrimination that they faced on campus. All right, Rohit Vemula and Payal Tadvi, after which the Supreme Court had issued guidelines to the central government that the central government must undertake such equity guidelines for promotion of non-discrimination on campuses to ensure that the mental health of such people can be upkept. All right. So naturally, the UCG guidelines were brought in par with Article 15 and Article 16 of the Constitution, where they did say that no forms of discrimination will be tolerated on college campuses against the people belonging to the lower caste, and they also included, other than the SCs and the STs, they also gave mention to the OBC people as well. And he actually gives you a good insight as to why was it necessitated, because of the innumerable slurs that people of belonging to the lower castes and communities have to actually go through in the campuses. All right. So the article talks about this and the necessity for its bringing into existence. And he's actually tried to, portray a picture that why the people belong to the general category who are actually protesting against these guidelines should not undertake this protest. All right. So do go through it. It's a good take. Then another editorial, which was on Manrega, which was on the rural allocations for rural job schemes. So again, this article just is a critique article, which basically talks about that the government, sought about amendments in the Manrega provision, and in spite of bringing these amendments, when they've actually increased the total number of days from 100 to 125, the amount allocated in the budget is very, very meager. So the activists are against this, and they've drawn attention to the fact that when you are increasing the number of days, naturally you have to align more money, so that the rural population actually entails benefits from such programs. Okay, so make sure you go through this one also. This is just continuation of the previous one. All right, then visible progress, invisible exclusion. This also is a wonderful article that gives you a picture as to that India has targeted its fiscal deficit to 4.3% of the GDP for this financial year, as compared to 4.4% of the GDP last year, and also the total hike in the capex budget this year from 11.2 lakh crores to 12.2 lakh crores. All right. So they've actually shown that this is a wonderful step that India has taken, where India must undertake, development of infrastructure in the country, but also they've given, a good balance between how employment rates are not increasing. So not only is there a necessity to increase the expenditure, not only is there a necessity to have nice fiscal deficit targets, but also the government must work on employment as well. All right. So again, a good editorial today. Then Finance Commission gave or aligned much great quantities of money to urban local bodies. So they've said that the commission has recommended 3.5 lakh crore to urban local governments in the next 5 years. So they've basically just drawn a comparison through these various charts that how consecutively and continuously through various finance commission, the amount of money that is allocated to urban local bodies has been increasing, and the shift in the 16th finance commission has been much higher as compared to the 15th one. So they're actually trying to portray that the government is working towards effective decentralization in the country to foster good governance and administration. A wonderful take. Do go through it. The next one is about the tribal people protesting in Maharashtra. So this article basically draws attention to, again, Schedule 5 of the Constitution. Schedule 5 specifically talks about these 10 states which have certain pockets which have good tribal population. So this article shows us that recently there were protests in Pune, Nasik, Palghar districts in Maharashtra, and these tribal people have been protesting for better recognition to the Forest Rights Act of 2006, better implementation of the PESA Act of 1996, which sought to give more autonomy, sought to give more power to the tribal population in the region. And they've also talked about construction of dams to ensure water security, diversion of water from east flowing rivers to the west flowing rivers, so that people have irrigation security during high peak winter agriculture months. Also, they've drawn attention to the fact that MSP must be given on certain crops which are locally grown in Maharashtra and are specifically grown by the people of the tribal communities of Maharashtra. All right. So these are the various demands that they've talked about. Then the article further moves ahead to give you an idea of what the government has done in the previous days and why the government is still a little reserved about taking major steps in the direction that the tribals are protesting against. All right. Okay. Then this article again talks about the fiscal federalism that has been given due recognition to by the 16th Finance Commission. Fiscal federalism again draws our attention to the devolution amount of the central government to the state government, and this article actually shows that the states are not very happy with the 41% retaining of devolution money from the central budget to the states. All right, and it draws a picture contrast showing that the states were demanding that this 41% should increase to around 50%. All right, so go through this one. It's a good one. Okay, then just a nice, wonderful take on the inclusion of menstrual hygiene under Article 21. The directive was given recently only, and where they said that menstrual hygiene is a fundamental right and must be ensured in all educational institutions, because due to lack of menstrual hygiene, girls are not taking very well to the education system, and they stay out of the ambit of education in the country. Then a very wonderful article on wetlands. Yesterday we had the World Wetlands Day to commemorate the adoption of the Ramsar Convention on 2nd of February 1971. This article written by Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. Dr. Soumya Swaminathan is the daughter of MS Swaminathan, who passed away 2 years back, and she has given this wonderful article. Also, the article talks about what are wetlands, what are the importance of wetlands, what are the shortcomings in terms of their effective preservation and conservation, and what all the government must do. She's highlighted various pointers, what all the government must do to bring about effective conservation of wetlands in the country. So do go through that. Then coming to the next one, Pact with EU is not about compulsion, but compatibility. This is a take on the same idea that maybe it was Trump's tariffs that pushed the European Union into signing a trade deal with India, all right? But this article simply tells us that it was not out of compulsion that it was done so. It was done because the countries have been negotiating to strike a free trade agreement which is going to benefit both the countries. So this is what the article gives you in detail, okay? Then coming to news briefly and terminology, Himachal Pradesh government has set a goal of 31% forest cover by 2030. Now, why have I taken this up? It is a state news. It is not important. But why did I wish to flag it for you all is that a sustainable forest cover is considered as 33% of the total geographical area of a country. Okay, and India in its national forest policy of 1988 had set this goal or target of having at least 33% of the total geographical area under forest cover. Okay, so till now we've not been able to achieve this, but then individual states are setting up their goals. So Himachal Pradesh has also set up this goal of having at least 31% of its total geographical area under forest cover by 2030. Okay, if you look at the Indian State of Forest report, which is a biennial edition, the 18th report, which was published in 2023, says the data is for 2023, published in 2024. So that report said that the total forest cover in the country is around 25% right now. Okay. All right. Then the next one, just a brief, just keep in mind that recently the erstwhile Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, who is right now staying in India as a refuge. So she was sentenced to death for all the crimes against the Protestants in Bangladesh. So this news just tells you that it was not only her, now also her relatives. They have also been sentenced in absentia. All right. Then another piece of small news is that around 7.5 lakh manuscripts have been digitized under Gyan Bharatam. Gyan Bharatam is India's program which was launched in 2024 till 2031, under which it is a program under Ministry of Culture, and under this program the government seeks to digitize India's important manuscripts so that it is available to people country over or nationwide. Okay. Then again, I just wanted to flag the term punitive for you all. Punitive does come in Article 20 of the Constitution. Punitive detention is the term that you see. So punitive simply implies that after something has been done, so as a punishment, you undertake some particular direction. So when we look at punitive detention means that a person has committed some crime. Because he's undertaken that crime and the crime has been proven, that is why he must be detained in a jail. So that is punitive detention, that after the crime has been undertaken, you have to detain that particular person. So keep the word punitive in mind. So this was today's analysis for you all. It was a pretty interesting newspaper today, and I hope you all had as much fun as I did in taking the analysis today. So I'll see you for the next one tomorrow. Okay, thank you.